Hi, Gab here. Obviously, that's not Dad. I got the chance, without Dad, to see a sneak preview of Bruno last night, and all I can say is thank God I did not see this movie with Dad. For those of you familiar with Sacha Baron Cohen and his movie from 3 years ago, Borat, same kind of idea, mockumentary guerrilla comedy with Sacha Baron Cohen as this very distinct character of his own creation. This time Bruno, who is an Austrian supermodel, fashionista television host who comes to America. This is the thin plot line, comes to America to become famous in America, and that's really the premise of why we're following him through his exploits. Now it's, again, like Borat, it's supposed to be all impromptu, again, ambush-style comedy where Sacha Baron Cohen is very strongly in this character, this extreme character, and going out into these scenarios that are, you know, from middle America, average type of scenarios, or blue collar, lower class kind of scenarios, from that all the way to sitting down with political figures, crashing a high-end fashion show, all these sorts of things. And the majority of it seems very genuine. You really believe that that he is pulling this off, unbeknownst to all of his hapless victims that are in the scenarios with him. Although there were a few parts that did seem possibly staged. Probably every scenario has to be partially staged, but there were some where there were some of the players that seemed to be in on it were perhaps actors or certainly in on it to some degree. So a little bit more of that maybe than Borat. And you know, this is the second time around with this kind of approach, so you would think that it would be harder for him to get away with this sort of thing out there in the world. But I have to say, I mean, he really pulls it off. He stays in character like nobody's business. It's really, really impressive to me how committed that he is to these characters. And for me, this character, Bruno, I actually enjoyed it more than Borat. He's almost like a pop culture figure, I guess, because of my affinity for the pop culture world, compared again to Borat. Again, you feel like maybe you've seen this kind of caricature before, but that just made it enjoyable for me, and the scenarios seemed even more outrageous. This one has a much higher sexual content, if you can put it that way. I mean, the majority of his shock humor is sex-related, that being because the main gist of the character is his homosexuality. So a lot of his shock value and trying to antagonize or elicit responses from the public or the innocent people in his sketches are having to do with sex. So quite outrageous. I mean, my jaw was dropping, and I'm not a prude, so as I said, I'm glad I wasn't with Dad. I was sitting in the second row. It was packed, second row from the screen, and I just have two words for you: flapping penis. That's all I'm going to say. So if you like this kind of humor, if you enjoyed Borat, I definitely recommend it. I mean, it was really quite hilarious. Went on too long, it pushed, some of the gags didn't work as well or were pushed too far. I'm sure some critics will think that it's mean-spirited. It is, but that's the point of his humor, is to really expose everyone else around him for the idiots that they are, and that certainly gets accomplished. If maybe going a bit too far, well, I mean, you're not going to see this anywhere else. So if you're going to see it, this is where you're going to see it. So again, if you like that, I definitely recommend it. If you aren't partial to that, I definitely don't recommend it. But I was definitely laughing a lot. My poor friend who I went with, she hadn't seen Borat. She didn't know what to expect. And she was pregnant. I think she was shocked. I'm just glad she didn't go into labor. But it was quite the experience, so I wanted to share that all with you. And thank you to my friends at NBC Universal for making it possible for me to see the preview. And thanks to all of you, as usual, for watching.